let's get started with this beautiful strawberry and pineapple trifle recipe. So how I started was with a boxed yellow cake mix. You can get something from the store, a pound cake, or just make your favorite plain cake recipe. And then we'll move on to the custard. For this, you need equal parts milk and cream, and you bring it to a light simmer with some vanilla essence. Whisk it all together and then just take it off the heat, because now we'll be moving on to the egg part. For that, you're going to take egg yolks and 1 whole egg, and then we are going to beat it with an electric mixer with some granulated sugar. You're going to keep mixing until it becomes light and pale and fluffy, just like it looks right here. Once it's at that color, then you're going to take 1 tablespoon of corn flour and again mix that all up. Now we're going to move on to a very important part of the custard process. If you've seen my ice cream video, because we've used custard in that as well, this is the same thing. This is called tempering the eggs. And you do this so that you don't cook or scramble the eggs. And what basically that is mixing in the cream milk mixture a little at a time until it's all well incorporated, and then putting it back in the saucepan and cooking it until it's thick. And then you know that it's thick enough when you run your finger down the back of the spoon or the spatula and there's no dripping from either side. After I bring the custard to a room temperature, I will chill it in the fridge and put it away till I need it further. Because now I'm going to move on to my whipped cream. For this, you just need 4 cups of whipping cream, add some powdered sugar and some vanilla essence. Remember to use chilled cream and only whip it until it forms soft peaks like this. Don't over whip it. Alright, so next what we're going to do is macerate our strawberries, which I've cut up, in the syrup that your pineapples came in. So I kept some for decoration and then sliced others that would go inside the trifle. Simply let the strawberries soak in the syrup and keep a little bit of it aside because you'll need to drizzle your cake with this. Since I baked my cake the day before, it's nice and chilled, and now I'm going to cut it up in slices at first, and then I'll go down and make squares and then cut it up halfway again. This will make it easy for me to create those layers that I want in my trifle. Now I'm going to take some of the pieces, not all of them, and spread some berry jam on it. This is an optional part, you don't have to do it. For a beautiful looking trifle, you want to take a nice deep glass bowl where all your layers can show. Take the cake with the jam side and put that as your first layer. Put the jam side down. I'm going to drizzle a tiny bit of the syrup just so that my cake doesn't feel dry. I'm going to follow this up with a good slathering of the custard that I made. Make sure it's chilled. And then I'm going to take my strawberries and put them around the side of the bowl so that they just look pretty, and then the smaller pieces I'm just going to put in the middle along with the pineapple chunks. Next is the luscious whipped cream. Oh, this is so good. Make sure you get a good layer of that and then follow it up with the same layers once again. I did the cake and then the fruit this time. It doesn't really matter which order you go, but just as long as there is a good amount of layers. I used 3 layers of the cake and everything. You have to be generous with these layers. So good amount of cake, good amount of custard and cream and fruits and berries. That's what is going to make this so much more delicious. You have to top it off with the whipped cream. You know, I like giving it this texture on the top. It just gives it this beautiful, ruffled, silky kind of look. And then just use those reserved pineapple chunks and those beautiful berries to top it off and make it look really pretty on top. Your assembly is done. Just refrigerate for a couple of hours and you are ready to serve this beauty. For the full recipe, make sure to visit the Ghee Shakar blog. I'll mention it down below, and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.